Welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Wednesday, November 11th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church in Maplewood, New Jersey, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation to pause in your day, to breathe deeply, and to center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. Each time we have a Take a Break, Take a Breath time, for now, we are looking at a different psalm, and we are all the way up to Psalm 100. Psalm 100 is a familiar psalm for many lifelong Presbyterians. The tune, we sing it sometimes known as the Old Hundredth, and it's a psalm of praise, but also a psalm of teaching. The way the psalm is structured, there are 7 imperatives. There are 3 before verse 3 and 3 after verse 3. And verse 3 then sits right in the middle of it. And it is a teaching. And that teaching is really quite simple and yet quite difficult to live in. That our identity, human identity, begins and ends in God. So the verse that I want to focus on then, guess what, is verse 3. Know that the Lord is God. And the pronouns here are a little challenging for us as they are particularly masculine. But just look past that for a minute. Know that the Lord is God. It is He that made us, and we are His. We are His people and the sheep of His pasture. Now, we can think of that as possessive, that we belong to God. We are in God's, we are the sheep of God's pasture, and that God loves us, that we belong to God. And the call then of this psalm is for us to live, I want to use this word, doxologically. Worship is not a strong enough verb for this. A better translation of the word worship here would be to orient your life and your being toward God. Everything, so that your whole life offers up praise and thanksgiving to God. So I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house and to close the door and to settle into a comfortable chair and to take a few deep breaths and to close your eyes. And as you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. Breathe in the breath of life and breathe out all that does not give life. Breathe in the peace of God and breathe out all of your fears and worries and anxieties and burdens. And become aware of the surroundings around you, the strength of the floor and the support of the chair on the back of your legs and your back and your arms, the temperature in the room. Even though your eyes are closed, you have a sense of the amount of light in that room. And allow all of that to bring renewal and peace to you. Imagine that your body is a sponge and that every pore of your body can soak up the peace and presence of God. Feel the peace of God soaking into your feet. And let your feet relax. Feel the peace of God as it soaks into your legs. And the muscles in your legs relax. Feel the peace of God as it moves up your back, and the pores in your back and the muscles in your back soak in that peace and calm. And allow that peace and calm to soak into your stomach and to settle your stomach. Allow it to settle into your chest, to calm your breathing, and to bring your heart rate down to a nice, comfortable, peaceful, non-stressful rate. Allow that peace to soak into your shoulders and down your arms. Let the pores soak it up, every cell in your body. Let it soak into your neck and your face. Let it bring relaxation and a smile even to your face. Let it soak into the pores and the cells of your brain, calming you, bringing you peace. You are soaked and washed in the peace and presence of God. And now imagine yourself in a congregation. The church is full, and they've started worship in the way that worship used to start, with the doxology, singing praise to God. Maybe it's a hymn of praise that is your favorite. Hear the beauty. Let your soul be lifted up into the heavenly places by this music. It renews you and refreshes you. And then fast forward to the end of worship, to moving out the door, and you notice that many are ahead of you, in fact, everyone. And as you walk out of the church, you go and find a place in a garden around the church. It's a nice day. You're thinking about this idea that all of your life is centered in God, that your identity moves around and into God, that all that you do can and does offer praise to God. As you're thinking about all of those things, you are also thinking about all creation praising God. You look at the beauty of the flowers and the beauty of the colors of this season, the gorgeous colors of fall. And in the rustle of the wind through the trees and the leaves, you sense the Spirit of God blowing near to you. And you know God is close. God's Spirit is close to you in that moment. And in your mind, you feel an invitation to lift up all that is going on in your life. I'll be quiet while you and God's Spirit, the wind of God, are together. And then you sense that the time for this conversation and time together is ending. And you need to get on about your day, to do the things that you do, and to offer praise to God in the ways that you do them. And so you bring it to an end, and then you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you are ready, you open your eyes. Well, that's Take a Break, Take a Breath for Wednesday, November 11th. If you have feedback or you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.